Hi there. Let me present to you an online course on car noise insulation. My name is Elisey Ivanov. I am the head of StP-Install project. This is a network of branded services of the Standard company, and we provide car noise insulation of any complexity under the STP brand. Moreover, as an entrepreneur, I have been doing noise insulation for over 12 years. More than 1,000 cars have passed through my hands, and I have extensive experience in installing and developing noise insulation solutions, as well as training in this area. So today I will speaking about what noise insulation issues exist in modern cars, how they can be solved using noise insulation materials, and also how you can make money from all this. Any modern car has noise problems. This applies to both affordable cars, such as Lada, and expensive premium ones, such as sedans like Bentley or Rolls-Royce. Every car has a noise problem, but to varying degrees. Let's list several problems that are most relevant for modern cars. The first problem is the high general noise level in a car. First of all, this is noise from wheel arches, engine, and air resistance. That is, there are different sources, but the problem is the same. Many car owners, even in the premium segment, are not satisfied with the overall noise level in the cabin. The second problem is the poor sound of standard speakers. Today, for many car users, the car is the only place where they can listen to music comfortably while driving to and from work. Generally, doing this at home is not very convenient, especially with family, relatives around. Therefore, people have special requirements for the sound of standard speakers. The next problem refers mainly to German cars and the premium segment in general. It's the squeaking of plastic elements. It's no secret that even Geländewagen does not squeak only for the first year, and then squeak concerts begin. The same applies to most modern models of Mercedes, BMW, Audi, and so on. The next problem does not concern noise insulation at all, but goes along with it. This is the low thermal insulation of cars. This is especially true for either large budget crossovers or small, tiny cars, in which manufacturers also cut down expenses on thermal insulation materials in the cabin a lot. Another problem is the low road holding ability of modern budget-friendly crossovers and sedans. This affects the vehicle steerability. What it is, this is the correct weight distribution and the higher blockiness of the interior and the body. This can also be influenced by noise insulation. And the last, but most important problem is the effect of corrosion on the car body. Today, most car owners are again thinking about how to extend the life of their precious cars, and noise insulation can help with this. So, I have listed the main problems that can be solved with noise insulation. Now let's talk about where noise in a car comes from and what ways we know to reduce it. In any car, there are two main sources of noise. The first is vibration, and the second is high-frequency noise that comes from external sources and from air resistance. Let's talk about vibration. This is the main cause of noise in the car interior, so it is the car's own noise. How does it happen? Vibration is noise at a very low frequency that is transmitted to the body in the following way. The first is, of course, from the suspension, through the contact of the tire rubber with the road, with its surface. Vibration can also come from the body. That is the car's own vibration. This could be vibration from some other external factors, but one way or another, it hits the body and, consequently, the body begins to vibrate. The body vibrates at a very low frequency, but when we hear this vibration, it partially turns into a mid-frequency sound that we hear and perceive as noise. Where does this noise come from? This noise appears because vibration from the metal body, from its hard and heavy parts, is transferred to lighter plastic elements. For example, to the interior upholstery, to the front panel, to the glass, and so on. And these are the elements that reflect the sound and make it appear as rattling, as just irritating noise. As for high-frequency sound, it is primarily noise from air resistance. The faster the car moves, the more resistance we get and, consequently, the more noise comes from the windows, from the roof, from the rear wings, from the doors, and so on. This noise comes from elements of the body made of thin metal, as well as from the glass. Basically, high-frequency noise is produced by several sources. So, we've discussed the nature of noise in a car. Now, let's talk about how to reduce this noise. There are several noise suppression methods. The first is the structural method. The structural method allows less vibration to be transmitted through the body. This method is popular among car manufacturers. The Kia Sorento and Kia Sorento Prime are the examples. From a technical perspective, the cars are similar. They have a lot of the same body elements, a lot of the same structural elements, but at the same time they have an important difference. The Kia Sorento Prime, which is considered a steeper car, has several additional body strengthening elements, which makes this car quieter just due to these design changes. The second method is called passive. It implies installation of so-called passive noise insulation. This is everything we put on top of the body to absorb vibration, isolate sound, absorb sound, and so on. This method is also used by car manufacturers. For example, these are numerous bitumen sheets scattered throughout the body, or the soundproofing carpet that is used in most premium cars today, or the use of thick soundproofing plastic in cars. All this refers to the passive method of noise insulation. We also use the passive noise insulation method. We additionally install our vibration-absorbing, soundproofing, and sound-absorbing materials into any vehicle. Now let's talk about how noise insulation solves the problems of modern cars. Let's start with the same problems, but we will cover them with our solution. The problem: high noise level in the car. This is noise from wheel arches, from the engine, from the bottom, and so on. The problem is solved using comprehensive noise insulation. In this way, the sound pressure level, that is the noise level, can be reduced by 50%. This very noticeable result can be achieved on most modern cars. Next problem: bad sound of standard speakers. This will be addressed with noise insulation of doors, noise insulation of the trunk, roof, or other components on which elements of the acoustic system are installed. This will eliminate the problem of rattling and incorrect sound of the acoustic system as much as possible and enjoy your favorite tracks in a new quality. The problem of squeaking plastic elements is familiar to many owners of premium segment cars, and it can also be solved with the help of special spacer tapes such as Madeleine, Biplast, and others. The materials allow you to completely eliminate squeaks and rattles and enjoy a premium car in silence. The next problem is the low thermal insulation of the interior of modern cars. This can also be addressed with sound insulation, using materials with a closed cell structure, as well as treating the roof with sheet polyethylene or polyurethane foam, which prevents heat from escaping through the roof and thus retains heat in the cabin. And in the summer, such treatment will prevent heating up from the outside. The problem of low road holding ability is solved by distributing the additional weight of noise insulation on the floor and in the trunk. Thus, the car becomes more compact and more steerable. Customers with more affordable cars often note that, indeed, the car's steerability becomes much higher. The last problem, the effects of corrosion, can also be solved with the help of noise insulation. The materials that we use to process the body from the inside have a sealed layer, which allows us to protect the metal from moisture and therefore from rotting and corrosion. The outside of the body and wheel arches are covered with other compounds, which are based on mastics. Mastics protect the body from reagents, gravel, and rust for many years. So, we've discussed the main problems of modern cars and reviewed different ways to solve them, as well as talked about advantages of treating a modern car with noise insulation materials.